Hi, ambassadors. Amina Ali here again. I am going to finish up this series very, very quickly. This one won't be as long, I don't think. This word is origin. Now, we talked about creed and race and nationality, and now we're talking about origin, which is the land of a person's birth, initial residence, or citizenship. Simple. Your origin is where you're born. Now, I know that there are some that are into cultural diversity that would say your origin is actually based on your parentage, like where your parents are from, where you're from. Like, for instance, we call ourselves African Americans because we say our origin is actually from Africa because we were brought here and we've thus planted seeds and took root, and now we're having children upon children upon children that we have to say we're American. But if we really want to look at origin of a people, you have to see where they've come from tribally. So we're going to say a land of a person's birth. So we're going to say the origin of their birth and their initial residence or citizenship. But in this case, for today, we're going to be talking about the first Jenners. Now, we're not talking about like Kardashian Jenners. We're talking about the first generation origins that are coming over and in repatriation. And that piece that is going to allow them to come here and develop a whole nother culture within their main culture or subculture. And this is the people that have a foreign language spoken at home, yet they speak English, and they probably can sing every Beyonce song that they know to date. But their mother couldn't tell you how to say something in English if you gave her the words and the enunciation, because the mother's tradition is very, very original, or of the origin of her birthplace. Now, the first Jenners are going to be here, and they're going to be, this is their origin and their birth. So when in Rome, they are doing what Romans do. They are identifying with the, here in the United States, they're then identifying with the American traditions. So their origins are going to be different. And when they have children here in the United States, their origins are going to be different. Now, if you're talking about parentage or the origin of the parent, then that person is going to have to say she is Indo-American, Philippine American. And she'll have to add that on there, which is what we add on there, because her generation is now here in America. However, the parental origin or the patriarchal piece is coming from another land. Now, as ambassadors, we have to keep that in mind. So many of us will look at a person and just assume for some strange reason that that person is coming from another land and knows absolutely nothing about the United States. I know I had a young lady that did that. She was actually a colleague of mine, and she saw somebody that looked like that they were from, I would just say, the Polynesian Islands. And she just took it on the cuff that this person looked like they were Hawaiian. Now, they might have been, but for her to just assume that, her walking up to the person and say, I used to live in Hawaii. Oh my goodness, isn't your land great? And it's just so beautiful and peaceful. And the person was looking at her like, Hawaii? Oh yeah, I've been to Hawaii too. And she was confused. And she was like, what do you mean you've been to Hawaii? You're from Hawaii, aren't you? And I was actually embarrassed for her, because that little small snippet that she did was a prejudicial remark based on bias. And she just assumed anybody that just kind of looked like that was actually from there. They were from Burma. Although they may have characteristics that are similar, for her to just assume that that person was Hawaiian was very, very prejudicial. Now, I know she didn't mean it. Just knowing who she is, she didn't mean it. She knew that what she said was wrong, but there was no ill intention. She was really just striking up a conversation based on what she assumed, what they say. And she brought it forward in a pleasant and very positive conversation. Actually, the Burmese sister was really, really taken aback, because there were certain parts about Hawaii that, I guess they had neighboring factions of understanding of where they went. They both went to Maui, and both of them had two totally different experiences. And it was just like, wow, we did have something in common. So knowing that is to know that when you're coming from a different origin, You have to respect that in the givings of what it is ambassadors are doing to each other. So understanding that someone may look a certain way cannot lay claim to a specific origin. I've had people that look like me that were born in London, England. Likewise, I had people that had blonde hair and blue eyes that were born in South Africa. So you cannot say that what someone looks like based on color, as we described, race as the people, or ethnicity, the conglomerate of it, be based on what it is people think that we are. And as ambassadors, we have a divine mission to understand each other and become one with each other in understanding who we are and not what we think we are. Thank you so much. I hope that helps. Until next time.